Holidaily Brewing Company. We opened in February of 2016. So we've been open about 3.5 years. We have a tap room up in Golden with 10 beers on tap and an awesome patio. And we distribute throughout Colorado, and we're really growing our footprint here in Colorado. And I'm just excited we got to serve beer out here. I saw some of you out there sampling it with us. So thanks for being here and supporting all these awesome women. Lizelle's amazing. She had asked us to talk about being unstoppable together, and in particular teams, and how as an entrepreneur you build a team. And I think the very first thing I thought of is, if you're not an entrepreneur, you think of your team as maybe a smaller unit, like my staff. That might be my team, and Lord knows I could not have done what we've done in 3.5 years without the staff that I have. But as an entrepreneur, you need to think bigger than that. And I think of as a team as anybody that really thinks positively of Holidaily, supports me, supports our business, supports our staff. And then if you think of it that way, your net that you throw out, your team that's out there, is so much bigger than you ever imagined. I've had women and men walk up to me today saying, "Oh my God, I love you." I'm like, awesome. I don't know you. But it's because they're part of my team. They follow us on social media, or they've heard of me, or they're a friend of a friend. And so that's how big your net is. And as an entrepreneur, you need to think about, how big is that net? How big is my reach? And how do I utilize that group of people to help my business and to help me grow? And there's a trick to that. One is, once you've got that large net of people, you don't pick one and ask them for 20 favors. You pick 100 and ask them for 1 favor. And next thing you know, people are doing amazing things for your business. They're helping you meet people. I was in this process, I actually did something. I'm a parent, and I have 11-year-old twin girls that are turning 12 next week, which is another reason I needed endless amounts of beer. I digress. But I did this exercise where I said, all right, who's my team for parenting? And I just started a list. And my challenge to you guys is to start a list and for your business. Because it turned into this huge list. It started with my husband and my parents and his parents and my siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles. And then it was like teachers, and it was coaches and counselors. And then it was the bus drivers on my team, and the snowplow guy is on my team to get my kids to school safely. And then you realize, holy crap, your team is giant. And if all these people, by the way, are on my team to succeed. It's not just for my family, it's for everything I do. I don't know if the dentist's husband owns a bar or a restaurant that might want Holidaily on tap. So I can actually tap into all these people, talk about Holidaily, and get support from so many more people. If you think broadly as an entrepreneur, than just a small team that maybe initially was your staff or your family. So really take the time. Your homework assignment tonight, one of them, is take the time to make that list. And you will be shocked. You'll get to 5, 6, 7 pages of people. And then one thing that I've done, and one thing that I really recommend, is if you have one person on that list that maybe they can help you in 5 different areas, pick one that's a home run for that person. That person can help me meet whoever it is that might help your business, a supplier, or somewhere that would be a great place to sell your product or your service, and ask them. Majority of the world is going to ask you, or is going to help you if you ask. And especially if it's just 1 favor a year. And if they say no, it doesn't hurt you. You haven't lost anything to that person. So take the time to make that list, and then prioritize what you're going to ask them to do for you. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is, out of that team, this is a really awesome time to be a woman and to work with women. And what I've thought about with it is, previous generations, I think, were either defeated or didn't even know that they had options. So my mom was raised in a small town in Pennsylvania, and the only sport was half-court basketball for women. She graduated and she got a college degree and was a teacher. And I asked her, Mom, if you didn't teach, what would you do? And she said, well, I always knew my backup plan was that I could be a hairdresser. That was it. She had two options in her mind of what her career could be, a teacher or a hairdresser. We have way more options now. And I think in the future, ultimately, the goal is, if we have entrepreneurs, right now we get a women-owned business certification, or we have women who start up groups, or we have minority business certifications. All of that is because everything is so out of balance that we need those things just to have a level playing field. All that exists so that we can attempt to compete on a level playing field. The hope is, for my kids or their kids, is we don't even need that stuff. Imagine this concept. You get the job, you get the promotion, or you start the business because of who you are, not what you are. Because of your skills and your education and your work ethic. My hope is there's no such thing as a woman-owned business or minority-owned business, because it isn't gonna matter. You get the job or you get the opportunity because of who you are, not because of what you are. Well, we're not there yet, but I like where we are right now. And the reason I like where we are right now is because women right now are embracing being underestimated. I love this. I'm a tad bit competitive, if you know me or talk to any of my friends. Women are walking around with a chip on their shoulder. We have something to prove, and we really contribute, that net I talked about. Find women that will help you. Find women that will be teammates. We talked about grit earlier. Women have grit. Women will bring up the intensity of your team, whether it's employees, coworkers, friends, mentors. Women are around now to create the best team possible and to really bring us all up together. It's a fun time to be a woman in business, because I think we're the ones that get to make the change. We're the ones that get to build that community in the long run, where it doesn't matter if you're woman-owned or minority-owned. We get to make that change right now. So one more ask of you. We talked about the list you're gonna go home and make, and then talk about prioritizing who you can reach out to. But the other thing I want you to do is be on the team of all of these people talking, of Lizelle's company, of everybody you've heard, if you're here for Denver Startup Week, be on the team, and it doesn't take much. That doesn't mean you have to go out and throw a kegger with Holidaily, but I'll be there, so let me know. What it means is, anything. If you're at a party this weekend, be like, oh man, I went to this great event, there's this great company, and mention any of these companies. That's being a teammate to us. Follow us on social media. That's being a teammate to us. Come support any of us, the services we provide, the products we provide, all of that. In my definition of team, you've become part of our team. You become a part of that membership, and you're helping all of us as a whole get to that place where we are. That's all I have. Thank you.